Welcome back to Financial Cake, where we slice through the complexities of finance to help you build a richer life. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both exciting and a little scary: entrepreneurship. We all love the stories of overnight success, the garage startups that become global giants. But what about the other side of the coin? The reality is that a significant number of small businesses don't make it past their first year. Why is that? Is it bad luck? A bad idea? Today, we're going beyond the myths to look at the hard data. We'll explore the top 5 reasons why most small businesses fail, backed by real-world examples. This isn't to discourage you, but to equip you with a realistic roadmap so you can navigate the challenges and build something that lasts. The number one killer of new businesses isn't a bad product or a lazy founder. It's something far more fundamental: cash flow mismanagement. You can have the best idea in the world, but if you run out of money to pay your bills, your suppliers, or your staff, it's game over. Many new entrepreneurs confuse profit with cash flow. A business can be profitable on paper, showing healthy revenue and margins, but still be cash poor. This happens when you have long payment cycles, where clients take 60 or 90 days to pay you, but your own expenses, like rent and utilities, are due every 30 days. Think of it like trying to run a marathon by sprinting the first mile. You might look impressive initially, but you'll burn through all your energy and collapse before you even get close to the finish line. A business needs a steady, predictable flow of cash to survive and grow. Misjudging this is a rookie mistake that takes down countless promising ventures. Let's consider the story of a hypothetical startup, Crafted Creations, a business selling handmade artisanal goods online. The founder, an artist named Alex, was incredibly talented. The products were beautiful, and early sales were strong. Customers loved the unique designs, and the company was technically profitable for month 2. However, Alex invested heavily in premium materials up front to build a large inventory. At the same time, the platform used for sales had a 45-day payout period. While orders were flooding in, the actual cash from those sales wouldn't hit the bank account for over a month. Meanwhile, rent for the workshop was due, and suppliers needed to be paid for the next batch of materials. Within 4 months, despite having a full order book and glowing reviews, Crafted Creations was out of cash. The business had to halt operations because it couldn't afford to buy more supplies to fulfill new orders. It was a classic case of a profitable business failing due to a cash flow crisis. The lesson here is stark: you must manage your cash as carefully as you manage your product. The second major reason for failure is the lack of a real market need. This is the classic solution in search of a problem scenario. An entrepreneur gets excited about a brilliant idea, invests time and money into developing it, only to find that nobody is actually willing to pay for it. Passion is crucial for any founder, but passion alone doesn't validate a business model. You might think your idea for a smart, plant-watering gadget is revolutionary, but if your target customers are perfectly happy watering their plants by hand, you don't have a business. You have a hobby. Too many founders fall in love with their product and ignore the market signals. They skip the crucial step of market research, failing to ask potential customers if they would genuinely use and pay for the solution. They operate on assumptions rather than data, which is an incredibly risky way to build a company. A prime example of this was a tech startup called SocialSphere. The founders created a new social media platform with a unique algorithm for connecting people based on their reading habits. They poured their life savings into developing a sleek app with all the bells and whistles. They were convinced that book lovers everywhere would abandon other platforms for this niche community. They launched with a big marketing push, but the user adoption was abysmal. It turned out that people were already discussing books on existing platforms like Instagram, Goodreads, and Reddit. They didn't feel the need to migrate to a whole new ecosystem just for that one purpose. The problem SocialSphere was trying to solve wasn't a big enough pain point for its target audience. The founders had built a beautiful, functional product that nobody asked for. They failed to validate their core assumption, that a dedicated platform was necessary. Within 8 months of launch, with user growth flat and their funds depleted, they had to shut down. Their failure underscores the importance of finding a genuine market need before writing a single line of code or producing a single unit. Coming in at number 3 is getting out-compete. The business world is a crowded arena. No matter how unique you think your idea is, chances are there are other companies, big or small, vying for the same customer dollars. Ignoring the competition or underestimating them is a fatal flaw. Some startups enter a market dominated by established giants, thinking their agility will give them an edge. While that can be true, those giants have deep pockets, brand recognition, and existing customer loyalty. They can easily lower their prices, ramp up their marketing spend, or even copy your features to squeeze you out of the market. On the other hand, some founders believe their niche is too small to attract attention, only to be blindsided by a swarm of similar startups emerging at the same time. A successful business needs a clear competitive advantage, a moat that protects it. This could be superior technology, a stronger brand, better customer service, or a more efficient cost structure. Without it, you're just another voice in a noisy crowd. Let's look at the cautionary tale of Freshbox, a meal kit delivery service that launched in a city already served by 2 major national players. The founders of Freshbox believed they could compete by offering more locally sourced ingredients. It was a good idea, and they gained some initial traction with environmentally conscious consumers. However, the established competitors quickly took notice. One of them launched a local farm line of its own, effectively neutralizing Freshbox's main selling point. The other competitor initiated a massive price war, offering deep discounts that Freshbox, with its smaller scale and tighter margins, simply couldn't match. Customers who had initially been drawn to Freshbox's local angle were lured away by the convenience and lower prices of the bigger brands. Pinned between a competitor that copied its strategy and another that undercut its price, Freshbox's market share evaporated. The company struggled for a few more months before ultimately closing down, a testament to the brutal reality of competing without a sustainable advantage. The fourth reason businesses go under is a flawed business model. A business model is essentially your plan for making money. It answers critical questions. Who are your customers? What value are you providing? How will you reach them? And most importantly, how will you generate revenue in a way that exceeds your costs? Many entrepreneurs don't think this through. They might have a great product but no clear path to profitability. For example, they might set their prices too low, attracting customers but ensuring they lose money on every sale. This is often done in the hopes of gaining market share, but it's an unsustainable strategy known as buying revenue. Another common flaw is having a customer acquisition cost that is higher than the lifetime value of that customer. If you spend $100 on marketing to acquire a new customer who only ever makes a single $50 purchase, your business model is fundamentally broken. You are literally paying people to take your product. Consider Gamers Guild, a subscription service for tabletop game rentals. The idea was simple. For a monthly fee, members could rent and exchange a wide variety of board games. The founders thought it would be a hit with avid gamers who wanted to try new titles without the high cost of buying them. The problem was in the numbers. The subscription fee was low to attract users, but the costs were incredibly high. Shipping heavy game boxes back and forth was expensive. Games would get damaged or have missing pieces, requiring costly replacements. The operational overhead of managing the inventory, cleaning the games, and handling logistics was far greater than they anticipated. They were acquiring customers, but each customer was costing them money every month. They tried raising the subscription fee, but that caused a massive drop-off in membership. Their business model was simply not viable at the price point the market was willing to bear. They were trapped, and after a year of bleeding cash, Gamers Guild had to fold. Finally, the fifth horseman of the startup apocalypse is a poor management team. A business is not just an idea, it's an organization of people. The founders and the leadership team are the captains of the ship. If they lack the right skills, experience, or temperament, they can steer even the most promising venture straight into an iceberg. This can manifest in many ways. Sometimes it's a single founder trying to do everything themselves: product development, marketing, sales, accounting, and excelling at none of them. Other times, it's a co-founding team with a great blend of skills but terrible personal dynamics, leading to constant conflict and indecision that paralyzes the company. A weak management team fails to set a clear vision, doesn't know how to motivate employees, makes poor strategic decisions, and is slow to adapt to changing market conditions. Ultimately, investors bet on people, and customers buy from businesses they trust. A dysfunctional team erodes that trust from the inside out. Take the story of two partners who started an innovative educational software company, LearnWell. One co-founder was a brilliant programmer who built an amazing product. The other was a charismatic salesperson who was great at closing initial deals. On paper, they were the perfect team. However, they had fundamentally different visions for the company. The programmer wanted to keep perfecting the product, constantly adding new features. The salesperson wanted to scale as quickly as possible, even if it meant overpromising and under-delivering. Their board meetings became battlegrounds. Decisions were stalled for weeks. This internal conflict created a chaotic work environment. Employees were getting conflicting directions, and product deadlines were constantly missed. While the co-founders argued, a competitor with a slightly inferior product but a unified and decisive leadership team entered the market and quickly captured it. LearnWell, torn apart by its own leadership, imploded before it ever had a chance to truly compete. So there you have it, cash flow mismanagement, no market need, getting outcompete, a flawed business model, and a poor management team. These are the 5 biggest hurdles that trip up new businesses. Understanding these pitfalls is the first step toward avoiding them. It's about being brutally honest with yourself, doing your homework, and staying humble. Entrepreneurship is a marathon, not a sprint, and it's paved with challenges. But by learning from the mistakes of others, you can dramatically increase your own odds of success. Thank you for joining us on Financial Cake. If you found this breakdown helpful, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. We'd love to hear your thoughts or your own experiences in the comments below. Until next time, keep building.